Hello, everyone. This is Anna Pacheco, Santa Fe 101. Today, my guest is Mike Mazel with Keller Williams, and he's going to talk to us about McKinley County. Mike, do I have your permission to record this interview today?
Yes, ma'am, you do.
Oh, good. Well, what I love about the Gallup area, well, there's a couple of things. You're so close to the, Navajo, you're part of the Navajo Nation, and Route 66 used to go, it still goes right through Gallup, but in the heyday of Route 66, Gallup played a very important role here in New Mexico in that historic, as they call it, the Mother Road. So tell me a little bit, what's it like selling real estate in Gallup?
Gallup is a unique market. We're surrounded by the Navajo reservation, and it really limits the growth. So there's not a lot of growth that can go on here because we are surrounded by the Navajo reservation. And as of lately, I think there's been it's been a seller's market, and it's been much more difficult to find a nice house, but I make it happen for my clients every day, every month, every year.
So what is the median cost of a home in Gallup right now?
The median cost of a home just rose to about $179.
And for $179,000, what would you get for that price?
Most likely a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in a newer neighborhood.
And so like a suburban neighborhood with a front yard and a backyard and neighbors on either side of you, that type of thing?
Correct. That's
okay.
Most likely what you can find for that price range.
Okay. And then do you also sell rural properties? Like, are there ranches or farms out in McKinley County that people might be interested in knowing about?
There are. I love showing and selling rural properties. There's some properties out here that are just absolutely breathtaking and gorgeous. I tell some of my clients, look, you don't need a painting. Look at this beautiful view that you have outside, and it's constantly changing. And there's just a lot of, they're hard to find, but there is a lot of rural property that in this area, and it's very tranquil and peaceful.
And would people, if the people that like currently live in these areas, are they ranchers or farmers or just people that come from other places and they want to get away from it all?
It was ranchers and farmers, and now it's a lot of people from other places that want to get away from it all. They want to get away from California or Oregon or Washington, and we welcome them with open arms. And I love to, there's nothing more that I'd love to do than show people, give people a true taste of New Mexico and Gallup. Like, for instance, the other day, I had some clients that came in and they were from the Midwest, and I gave them some roasted piñons, and they loved them. They didn't know what to think. That they never heard of them before. And the same thing with like biscochitos, the state cookie. People love, I love to give people an authentic taste of Gallup and the state, for that matter.
So these people that you were showing real estate to from the Midwest, why were they zeroing in on Gallup, or is it just one of the many places they're looking?
No, you know what? They actually got employment here.
Okay.
And they were employed by one of the hospitals.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about economic opportunities in Gallup. So were they physicians, or what are they going to be doing out in your area?
Correct. Yeah, they were physicians.
Okay. There's 2 hospitals in Gallup. Is that correct?
There are. There's Gallup Indian Medical Center and the Rehoboth McKinley Christian Hospital. And those are Those are 2 of the major employers actually here in Gallup. Some of the other major employers are the McKinley County school system. Walmart's a major employer here. The city of Gallup is a major employer. The Bureau of Indian Affairs is another major employer, and the University of New Mexico. We're proud to have a branch out here, and that's just a great feature for our local kids. And they have a great program over there where they're kind of meshing high school with college, and kids are graduating with associate's degrees out of high school, which is impressive. I wish I could have done that when I was young. I would have been all over that.
Right. And then in terms of the two hospitals, are they federally, are they government hospitals, or is the one that for the Native Americans, is that a government hospital?
Yes, that one is a government hospital and the other one is private.
Okay, so there are real. I always try to ask people, realtors in your area, so that people watching this interview, they'll kind of know if there might be possibilities for jobs when they get out here, because many people are moving here and they have the ability to work remotely, but some people don't, or some people maybe they don't want to work in a home office. They want to go to a job every day. So it's good to know that those are available. Also in the Gallup area, tell me a little bit. I know all of New Mexico. One of the if I were selling real estate, one of the big selling points is, the fact that we have over 300, probably 320 days a year of sunshine, but just the incredible, the breathtaking vistas, how beautiful the entire state is. So talk a little bit about some of the outdoor activities that are probably right outside your door. I mean, what would draw people? Why would people want to move to your area of New Mexico?
There is an area called the High Desert Trail System. There's a trail system just north of town, the High Desert Trail System, and it's 3 mountain biking trails that are all interconnected, and it's beautiful. I love going on that trail system because you basically bike from scenic vista to scenic vista to scenic vista, and it's a little challenging, but it is a great trail system. We're really lucky to have that. One of the other amenities we have just outside of town on the east side is McAfee. And McAfee is a part of Cibola National Forest. And so, you can take a quick 15-minute drive and be up around Aspens, and you go from the high desert to the mountains, and it's beautiful. It really shocks people when I take them up there. They're like, we've just left and we're here, and it's a totally different environment. And that's one of the beautiful things that I love about living in this area is being that close to the mountains.
And getting back to the trails, you're saying it's a little bit challenging. How many miles is it?
Oh God, I think it's about, each trail I think is about 8 to 12 miles.
Okay.
So what people usually do is they'll do one or maybe 2 of them. Sometimes people do all 3 of them too, and that's a real, it's something for every level. You could take a beginner out there and feel very comfortable, doing that. But it is, when you link the 3 trails together, that's a challenge for most people. That's a lot of riding.
That is. And then you're not far from Zuni Pueblo. Is that correct? I mean, how far are you from Zuni Pueblo?
We are not. We're probably about, I'd say 45 minutes to an hour from Zuni Pueblo. And the thing is, that area, they just opened up a new mountain biking trail, which is awesome down there. And I can't wait for things to get back up and going with that, because that's definitely on my list of things I want to get done this summer. It is a beautiful scenic trail, and they're starting to offer tours out there too.
Oh, good. So I know that, so being in Gallup, so you're what, 45 minutes from Zuni Pueblo, which, by the way, they're the only Indian Pueblo in New Mexico. We have 19 Indian Pueblos. They speak their own language of Zuni, which is pretty unique out there. So you have Zuni Pueblo, and then you're right smack dab in the middle of the Navajo reservation, or Navajo Nation, as they call it. So that I take it, for people that are moving out there, you're pretty much entrenched in Native American culture. I mean, there must be events going on and things that you do that, your lives must overlap on a daily basis with the indigenous people of New Mexico.
They do, and that's one thing. That's one of the reasons I love living here. I'm 4th generation Gallupian. My family's from here, and I kind of grew up intermeshed in that world a little bit, and I love it. I love the diversity. I love the culture. One of my favorite things, one of my fondest memories as a child, is going to the parades they have here. I'm going to be posting some pictures of some. We had a parade 2 years ago, and I took some great pictures. I'm really excited to start posting some of those pictures, because you look back and it's like, wow, that was really historic.
And are you finding, I know, again, Santa Fe is my hometown, and, it's definitely not the town I grew up in. And so there, Santa Fe actually has become like a mini LA. Everybody's from somewhere else. You don't run into people that hardly anymore in Santa Fe unless you're at a funeral or something. Are you seeing that in Gallup, or is it still kind of a small town where you see a lot of people that you know?
I see a lot of people I know every day. It is a small town like that. It has that small town feel. What I really love about Gallup is people are very warm and friendly and inviting. Um, for a town this size, we have a great community, and it's very strong.
And it's pretty diverse. I mean, it must be diverse in the sense that you have two major hospitals, and so they're attracting talent from other parts of the country. I'm assuming that you have people from other areas.
They are. I work with people all over the country that we do, and that's the other thing I love about it is, I helped someone move here from New York City recently. They bought a house sight unseen, and that's part of the. I think that's part of the culture here. Is there's people that have been here a long time, and then there's people that have just moved here, haven't lived here as long, but the community here is very welcoming and very friendly.
And Santa Fe is known primarily as a retirement community. Are you seeing a lot of retirees coming into your area, or are there people that are coming for economic opportunities like a job?
I would say we are starting to see a few more retirees coming in the area, especially looking at rural property. But as you pointed out, yes, it's mostly people just looking for jobs and work. And
what about entrepreneurs? Do you have people opening businesses there, or are you seeing different types of, commerce that coming in from other areas?
Entrepreneurship is alive and well in Gallup. Being the hub of the Navajo Nation, a lot of people do their shopping here. And on the 1st and the 15th, I mean, there's a lot of people in town, and that's not the best day to go to the grocery store, to the bank. But, we welcome that. We welcome everyone to come over here, and we're glad that we're a hub, and we can provide people with services and things they need for their everyday lives.
Okay, and you're talking about, you said like an average home right now is about 179,000. Do you have what is the range in real estate? Like, do you have high-end houses in the Gallup area?
We do. There are high-end houses. We just listed and put a house under contract for, I believe it was 560,000.
And what would $560,000 get you in Gallup?
It would get you a great view and a beautiful house with, God, how many? Let's see, that house had, I think it had 5 bedrooms, and the square footage on it was around 2,900.
And what about acreage? Did it have any land with it?
It did. It had a few acres with it also.
Well, that's an incredible, because I always tell people that even here in Santa Fe, where it's way more expensive, I always tell people that are looking at real estate that, it's high, but you get so much for your money. For $550,000, you wouldn't get anything on one of the coastal cities. But here you'd get, like you said, a 5-bedroom house and some acres with it. So you get a lot more for your money out here. That goes without a doubt. And in terms of some of these rural properties that you're selling, are they like, how many, like what would be the average acreage, and what would it cost? And what would something cost like outside of the Gallup area?
Something outside of the Gallup area with some acreage in good shape would probably be around 200,000 and up.
Again, that doesn't sound, again, I don't know this, but it sounds pretty economical to me. So how many acres would that be?
I'm just thinking of a listing on the top of my head that fits that description, but that listing's probably about, I think it's 3 or 4 acres.
Wow. So, and it's got a house as well, or just the property?
It has 2 houses. It has,
oh my God,
that's house and a guest house.
Right.
That house is beautiful. Passive solar. It has solar power on it also. And, like you said, the value, there's so much value here. And I welcome people with open arms from different places, because I love this place. I love the land of enchantment. And I want to show people all the beauty that there is here, and all the recreational opportunities there are here too. And the community is just, we have a great community here. We really do.
And are you seeing, again, I can only use Santa Fe as my guide because, we are primarily a tourist town. So we have a lot of Airbnbs, and we have a lot of people that have, they buy homes for investment purposes to, like
Right.
for rentals. I mean, are you seeing that in your area?
We do. Yeah. There's, being that there is a housing shortage here, there's no shortage of people investing in properties.
So there are investment opportunities. What about apartment living? What's happening here in Santa Fe is because we're such a tourist town, it's really hard to find long-term rentals because people that own little casitas or small apartments, they're now using those as Airbnbs. What about down in your area?
It's very hard also.
You don't have rentals.
We do. We manage over 120 rentals right now, but there's a shortage of rentals. There really is.
And why is that again? Is it Airbnb down there, or just what would that be?
There is, but the reason there's a shortage of rentals is because Gallup can't grow like a normal community because we are surrounded by reservation on all sides. So that's really kept the growth down.
Well, that's kind of a selling point too. I mean, it's never going to get too big. I always tell people that about, especially here in northern New Mexico, but in New Mexico itself, because we do have, not even talking about the Navajo Nation, we have 19 distinct Indian pueblos. So much of the land is sovereign. I mean, we'll never, Santa Fe itself will never have the urban growth of a Denver or a Phoenix or a Dallas because we can't go too much further out either. I mean, for instance, Santa Fe and Albuquerque will never be like one big city, because there's like 3 or 4, 5 or 6 Indian pueblos between Santa Fe and Albuquerque. So there's no way that we're going to be you're never going to see subdivisions in 50 years, So that's
You're
the same
not.
thing.
And that's one of the beauties about Gallup is that's pretty rare in the Southwest to have an area that you can't grow anymore.
That's and then what about, I know here in Santa Fe, we have a city ordinance that you can't build over 3 stories high. So we're never going to have like taller buildings here. Is that the same thing in Gallup?
Oh, it depends on where the building is placed, but there's not a lot of people building multi-story houses here. And most of the houses, the larger houses that will be built you'd have to make sure that everything's fine with the CC&Rs with the subdivision. So, that's a tough one to answer. It just depends where you build, I guess.
Okay. But do you presently have like apartment buildings that are 5 stories high or any of that?
No, we don't. Okay. We have a few large apartment buildings in town and a few other developments in town that are bigger, are better for housing a lot of people. But like I said, there is a shortage, and that is a selling point. It's not going to grow.
Right. Okay. And then in terms of the type of houses that exist now or are being built, here in northern New Mexico, they're still doing a lot more adobe type building. Mm-hmm. Do you have adobe houses out in the Gallup area?
There are a few adobe houses out in the Gallup area. Actually, that one house I was telling you about previously with the acreage, that's an adobe house. That's a beautiful house. I love taking pictures of adobe houses and passive solar houses. I think I know that's going to be taking off more and more now, and I'm excited to see more people build those.
And so you do have some. I mean, you're seeing more passive solar type of construction going on in your area.
We are here and there.
Okay. And your inventory right now, how many are you having a housing shortage in addition to an apartment shortage right now?
Correct. We are. I think everyone just really wants to get in a nice house right now, and there's like I said, a shortage of inventory. The thing is this is why it's important to get a good realtor, because I put my clients in houses, and my track record shows that, and I love what I do. And that's the thing is, I would just encourage people that would be moving out here, get in touch with myself, and I can give you a quick interview over the phone, and we'll find you a place to live in.
And you're actually you're 4th generation, so you have a vested interest in trying to introducing people to your hometown, right?
I do. I love it. You know, Gallup's not my hometown, but I visited here summers over
Well,
the
your
summers.
grandparents, if I'm not mistaken, somebody you used to go there as a little kid. Were your grandparents living there, or you have a real
Correct.
connection?
Well, my grandpa was mayor of Gallup, and he
Okay,
was
well,
mayor.
that's what I'm saying. You have a real connection.
I do have a real connection here, and that's where my love for this town comes from. Is, you know, I've seen it from when I was very young, and I've seen all the changes, and you know, I love this town. It's got a lot of character, and it's a nice place to live. And the standard of living here is unbeautiful for
Well, the
the price.
quality of life in New Mexico. That's why they call us New Mexico, the land of enchantment. That's true.
Right?
So we're at the end of our time here for the interview. Is there anything else that you want to, any parting wisdom or something you'd like to say that if somebody's watching this interview, they may just want to ring you up and come out and see you?
I would say come out to Gallup and check it out. It's a beautiful place. There's beautiful things in every direction you drive. There's something to do in every direction you drive. It is people are, for the most part, very welcoming here. I can't say enough about our community and you know, the diversity of our community, and it's just a really nice place to live. I love living here. And if you would have told me I would have loved living here, you know, 20 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. Right. But it is a really nice place to live. I love seeing people I know. I love the fact I don't have to fight traffic to get to work, and just the quality of life it's great here. It's a
so
great
I think
place.
I guess it's easy to say that there's something for everyone, and there's something to see in everyone. How does that sound?
Yeah, I agree. There is something for everyone here. And I'd encourage people to take a road trip out here, go down the Route 66 and check us out. And the other thing is I would encourage you to get in touch. If you're serious about getting a house here, I'd encourage you to get in touch with a realtor. And
don't say get in touch with a realtor, get in touch with you.
Get in touch with me.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I've done? I've been an agent here in Gallup for over 5 years, and in that 5 years I've done over 20 million in sales, and I've put over 125 people in houses, and I've had over 125 transactions. So, you know, I'd love to help you out. I really would.
Well, you sound like the guy to call, Mike. Listen, I want to thank you for your time, and we'll get you back on the show in a few months. And we get to the warmer months, we can talk more about outdoor activities in Gallup. How's that?
I would love to talk about outdoor activities. That's one of the main reasons I live here.
Okay, well, listen, thank you again, and we'll stay in touch. Thank you.